What's up, YouTube? Zero here. Welcome to the place where gamers, witches, wizards, and superheroes unite. Today, I'm going to be giving an overview of the Rebellious Spark tree for Alphen in Tales of Arise. In this video, I'm going to go over each of the skills and arts. I'm going to tell you if they're worth spending your skill points for, and I'm going to tell you if it's worth completing the tree to get that completion bonus for the tree. Without further ado, let's get into the tree. So first, Rebellious Spark. How do you unlock this tree? Well, you just unlock it by progressing through the storyline. So that's pretty easy to unlock. The first skill is going to be Counter Edge. After a perfect evade or perfect guard, press R1 to trigger an immediate counterattack. So that's automatically unlocked. We have Stardust, which is a hidden art that costs 2 AG, and we're going to see that during the gameplay. Then we have Increased Max AG. We have Mid-Air Evasion, which allows us to dodge once in midair. And we have Severing Wind, which is another skill move. 2 AG, it's actually a wind type move. Now, Rebellious Spark itself. Every flame of the revolution begins with a spark, carrying with it hopes and dreams of the oppressed as the fire becomes a blaze. So now that we've gone over the tree, let's get into some gameplay and talk more about what I like and what I don't like about this Rebellious Spark tree. Now first, Counter Edge. This is automatically unlocked. Honestly, I don't use it too much, but it is nice to have because after a perfect evade or guard, you can get an automatic counterattack. You're going to be evading and guarding a lot in this game. Alphen is more of an up close type character. You have a sword. You're going to be doing a lot of up close damage. So being able to counterattack is absolutely fantastic. So again, that's automatically unlocked, but it is absolutely fantastic to have. Me personally, my playstyle doesn't lend as much to it, but it is a great skill to have. Now next, let's go to Mid-Air Evasion. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about Increased Max AG because those are pretty simple to explain and go over. Then I'll go into the two moves. Mid-Air Evasion allows you to dodge once mid-air. This is actually going to set you back 170 skill points, which actually isn't a lot for this evade. And I really do like this evade. More so than not, you're going to be jumping in a battle. There's going to be a hard time for you to find a battle that you actually don't end up in the air. Being able to evade while in the air is absolutely fantastic because when you're in the air, enemies may charge you or enemies may try and throw something at you, and it's going to be great. Instead of trying to drop to the ground, it's going to allow you to evade. So for this 170, the mid-air evasion, absolutely worth it. Make sure you invest in this skill. Now the next one, Increased Max AG, increases your maximum AG by 1. You're going to be unlocking a lot of arts throughout the game. There are a lot of amazing moves that cost AG. You don't always want to be using your basic attack. Moves like Demon Fang and Raining Slash have literally carried me in boss battles. And so getting as much AG as possible to allow me to utilize those moves as much as possible is absolutely crucial. Now in the Rebellious Spark tree, this is going to set you back 360 skill points, but it is absolutely worth it. So far we have two skills, Mid-Air Evasion and Increased Max AG, that are absolutely worth their investments in SP. Next, we have our two moves that I've been showing. You've seen some of them during the gameplay. We have Severing Wind and Stardust. So Severing Wind, it summons a Vicious Gale as it strikes enemies upwards. So you can see the attack that it actually does. It starts out with an initial on the ground move, and then it carries you up into the air. Now, this is a wind type attack, so some enemies will resist it. Other enemies will be weak to it, so that's something worth noting. But Severing Wind, that we just saw on the screen, can be a pretty good move. Being able to knock enemies up in the air making them vulnerable to some of our air attacks, especially being a wind type move, can be pretty nice to have in our repertoire. Now, Severing Wind is going to set us back 240 SP. And before I say if you should invest in this move, I do want to talk about Stardust a little bit because these two kind of play off of each other. So Stardust is an aerial move. It's a hidden art that unleashes a barrage of thrusts, concluding with a dramatic slash. So we'll see Stardust when I'm in the air. You can see that I did Severing Wind and Stardust back to back. And these two moves work very well off of each other, especially being in the Rebellious Spark tree. If I was going to get one, I'd probably get both because they are so great together. Now, I'm not saying that these aren't worth getting. Let's talk about their points. Severing Wind is going to cost you 240 SP, and Stardust is going to cost you 240 SP as well. So actually, very low cost moves. Now, at this point in the game, when you do unlock Rebellious Spark, you're probably only going to have Mirage as your aerial attack. There's not going to be much aerial attacks. So Stardust gives you a nice other aerial attack, and it also allows you to constantly barrage your enemy. You can see I'm building up that gauge so I can unlock a vicious attack with another ally, like I am here with Law, to deal massive amounts of damage to my opponent. So Stardust, in my opinion, is an absolutely phenomenal move to have, and I would definitely invest in it. Now our last one, Severing Wind. This is a good move to have. Is it going to be one of the best moves in the game? Absolutely not. You see on the screen that I just did Raining Slash. Raining Slash is extremely powerful and can also lift enemies into the air as well. However, since our Severing Wind does wind damage, which is going to be nice against certain opponents, it's also going to bring us into the air, which allows for a great combination with our Stardust. I think Severing Wind is also a very good art to invest in. So that brings me to really my final conclusion. Now, we saw that it does this completion of the Rebellious Spark tree, gives us extra defense. I like all of these moves anyway, so I would invest them even if they weren't all in the same tree. But giving us increased defense is absolutely amazing in this game because Alphen's going to be dealing damage to himself with his flame moves. So increased defense is going to allow us to take less damage. Overall, this is a great tree to max out. Let me know in the comments section what you think about this skill tree. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more Tales of Arise content. Until next time, peace.